there, I'm board certified professional organizer Kathy Burns. I'm really glad you're here. This podcast is designed for busy entrepreneurs just like you who want to take better control of your business and move forward with less stress and more success. If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. The Organized Energized podcast is produced for your enjoyment, and show notes are found at thepodcast.organizedandenergize.com. Come back often and feel free to add this podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow me on Twitter at Organized Energy and Facebook. All links are in the show notes. Now let's get into the show.
As promised, I am here today with Kat Griffin. Kat's a dynamic and multi-passionate entrepreneur who embraces collaboration, infuses fun into her business, and loves to try out new things. Kat's business journey began really accidentally when she grew an Instagram account to 100,000 followers on a bet with her husband. This was the start of her entrepreneurial journey, the destination which she is still working on. And she currently teaches social media and sales strategy, and she's known for organizing large-scale and collaborative events. I have been on the end of her collaboration events, and let me tell you, they are well organized. They are so good. And I just love working with Kat. So I'm so excited to introduce you to her. So let's get going. Here I am with my girlfriend, Kat Griffin, and we're going to talk about her entrepreneurial journey. And it's so exciting because this girl takes numbers and moves some things. So welcome, Kat. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
So you have a great backstory. So talk us a little, tell the people a little bit about how you got to where you are right now. How did you start your business?
I mean, it's completely random and like it is definitely a journey. So my business started in a swimming pool in Thailand after quite a few cocktails. And so we did, yeah, I told you it's random. So I spent the day I was with my husband and we'd been island hopping in Thailand, had a brilliant day, like loved it. But literally it was like the height of travel influencers. Or maybe not the height, I think it's probably worse now actually, but there was travel influencers everywhere. So every time you wanted to stop, and not even influencers, just people wanting to be. So every time I wanted to like look at something, there was like people posing in front of it, and it just got really, really annoying. Like, full kudos to them for doing it now. But at the time I just, I was on holiday, I just wanted to enjoy it and see things. And so I got back to the hotel and I was like, I'm gonna become a travel influencer. So my husband like nearly choked and drowned and all those things. It's like, what are you on about? I'm like, I'm going to be a travel influencer. It's like, yeah, sure you are. So for context, I didn't have an Instagram account at this time. I'd never even looked at Instagram, didn't really get what Instagram was. And I was like, no, I'm going to get like I don't know why 5,000 either, but 5,000 seemed like a magic number, which is weird now because I'm now so against like number targets. But at the time, like 5,000, I'm going to get 5,000 followers. So my husband was like, yeah, you know. So we made a bet. I think the bet was to get another dog. I'm not sure. He denies it. I don't fully remember. I never claimed on the bet anyway, but um, like within a few months, I got to 5,000 followers. And then within 2 years, I got to 100,000 followers. Now, for anyone listening, I want to come with a huge disclaimer. This was a travel account. It was a huge amount of work. Like, they're not realistic. I'm not saying, like, this is what you're going to go and do with your account. Like, there's a huge context to those numbers. So I always want to put context to numbers because like, people hear numbers and go, oh, no, like, why am I doing? So there's a lot of context behind that. But yes, I got to the 100,000 followers. Then I kind of got bored of that account. But obviously, in the process of doing that, I'd learned so much about, first of all, Instagram and then other social media. And then obviously, like, there's content, there's sales, there's all kinds of strategy goes along with it. So I'd learned a huge amount in the 2 years, not just like making pictures and putting them on Instagram. And as you know, my day job is I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 20 years. So it's like, well, I can make a course teaching other people how to do this. So I did that, and it just kind of expanded and expanded. And then one thing that I'm really known for now is organizing things like bundles and summits. And that was a similar sort of thing, was like I had my like courses and things, And this was back in 2020, the year we don't mention, but 2020. And I
Mm.
started to see people share these bundles. I was like, these look great, but nobody asked me to be part of one. So I emailed a couple of people going, hey, can I join your event? And they went, yes. I was like, great, fantastic. I was like, but there's other people like me out there that want to be part of events and nobody's asking them. So it's like, I'm going to make events and ask them. So that's where we're at now. But I do say like my journey is by no means finished. Part of me
Yeah.
is terrified of what's next and what I'm going to like, where it's going to take me next. But it's lots of fun on the way.
Well, I absolutely love that you didn't have an Instagram account and you're just like, I'm going to try this. And, that's how I know you is through your giveaways and your bundles and your promotions are just fantastic. And I love the fact that you learn as you go and you're on the fly. And, as a disclaimer, folks, for you listening, she grew at 100, but this was back in the time when travel influencers, right, were just kicking off, right? So you're like at the head of the pack of all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I do want to fully say like that's not something like actually even knowing what I know now I wouldn't have tried it then, but like that was my life for way too long just because I was like focused. Don't like yeah, it's not realistic. It's not something that you're gonna go and the 99.9% of people. And then today currently like some people do still do it, but they either have a huge team, they get very lucky, like we give so much context.
Yeah, it's so much work. So, what advice? I mean, you're so successful at what you do, and you're so organized with your bundles and your promotions. What advice would you give a new person that was starting out that they really wanted to launch their business? They know what they want to do. They're on track with what they want to do. What advice would you give them to help them launch and get out there?
Honestly, just do it and just start, which I know sounds like so simplistic, but when
Mhm.
you actually, I talk about this a lot, but when you try and think of everything in advance and plan it all out and make it all perfect, A, you just keep holding yourself back, but B,
Mhm.
you don't know what you don't know at that stage. But
Mhm.
once you just start, you start to realize, like, well, first of all, what you already do know, what you already can do. And then the little things like they're like little light bulbs as you go through and you learn things and you figure things out, but you're never going to be able to do that all in advance. So just literally just start, just do it, see what happens. Be prepared that it's not going to work out necessarily perfect the first time, but that
Mhm.
means that the next time is going to be so much better. And just, see everything as a learning, enjoy the process. And sorry, this is an extra thing as well, but try and have friends. This is the biggest thing I learned. And another reason why I'm so glad I started actually with collaborations, because especially if you're an online business owner, it can be really, really lonely and isolating. And what you see is just like, like the highlight reel of people's lives through what they share in social media. And so you don't really get what the reality is, and you find yourself comparing yourself to like all this like amazing things that people are doing that are not necessarily some are, but a lot is not real or
Right.
is very edited. But by sort of building up friends and networks and things of, I've got a girl, I've never actually met her in real life, but for a year we pretty much WhatsApped each other daily. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this, or like, why did this go wrong? Like, and it was real and it was genuine, and like we both knew that someone else was in exactly the same position, and it is normal, it's genuine, it's everything goes that way.
I think that's really sage advice. I mean, being online is a lonely time. I found that as I go into more online, as opposed to less in person. And I agree. You're mimicking what I tell my clients all the time. Just start. You're not going to know everything that's going to come at you, or you're not going to know the solutions that you come up with unless you're actually faced with the dilemma. And then you're like, oh, okay, I'll go that way. I'll go that way. So I agree. When I put out my first book, my mantra was perfection is overrated and simply not worth it because there is no thing as perfection anyhow. So I wanted every single thing to be perfect in the book, right? It took me 3.5 years, which was just silly. I should have popped it out, right?
Yeah, exactly. But now, like actually, I think the first time you actually do get something finished, then you realize that, like, oh, this could have been out, like you say, 2 years ago. This could have already have like helped so many people and been on sale for a bit. Yeah, I think yeah, that's part of the initial learning curve as well.
Yeah, and you don't know what you're going to get up against. I agree. You have no idea what you're going to need to overcome or what's going to be easy until you actually just do it. So, what's one lesson that your business has taught you that you've learned over the years?
Um, Honestly, things will go wrong and mistakes will happen, but to own these, um, you know, if you mess up on something or something doesn't go quite right and you try and cover it up, it's very obvious to people.
Mhm.
And most people respond really well when you say you know, you like, I mean, so you said earlier about me being organized. I'm really not an organized person. I do mess up a lot. Like I will
I
send
could never
little
tell.
links and things. Oh, I do. But I've never once had a person come back at me be angry when I've emailed them and said like, oh, I'm sorry, like I sent you the wrong link or that was the wrong information or, I'm always willing to make it right however I can,
Mhm.
but I fully own it. Um, but I know when like quite often I get other people lie to me about things, and I'm like, just like I know you made a mistake. I don't care you made a mistake. Just like give me the right information I need, and then everything's fine. And it does really sort of like I think we keep coming back to this as well about like we're being human. Things aren't gonna be perfect, and it's so much more a real connection when people are genuine and honest with you. So I
Mhm.
forgot what my first point was now, but like you are gonna mess up, own it,
No,
roll with
yeah,
it,
yeah.
learn from it. I
And
think,
I think we know our spidey sense goes off when people are covering up stuff anyhow. And I've learned that lesson as well as a professional organizer. I'm supposed to be perfect, but there's no perfect. I mean, I
mm,
screw up all the time. So, and in fact, anybody in business probably screws up all the time. You just figure out how to shift and tack into a different direction.
and I think as well, like you said there, like there is no perfect, but
Mm,
one person's perfect is like not somebody else's perfect. So yeah, I think like as well, if that's when we come into comparing ourselves with people, and that's when we're never going to feel perfect because we're not the other person, we're not doing things how they do. But that's completely fine. That's your way, that's what you do for things.
mhm.
Um, so yeah, like there's not, it's not like a rubric that you've got to check to see what is the perfect thing. It's doing things that work for you, for your business, for your clients, and that's what's perfect.
Yes, and I agree. The social media paints that perfect picture, and I agree. It's just glossed over the highlights, and no low lights. Rarely do you see. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. So, what's the most memorable part of your career that's happened to date? I mean, you've been doing this for a little while. Um,
Yeah, so I was thinking about like because there's been something like twists and turns. There's not a specific memorable, um, but it probably would be the first time I organized a huge bundle. So I'd done a couple which had about 20 participants, and then I somehow had one and there was 250 participants.
woo!
And yeah, and I'd not learned like I think it was probably about my third or fourth event. So I'd not quite got all my systems in place. Like the systems I had worked fine for 20 people, but somehow there was like 250 people and my VA quit. Like
Oh
she got
no!
a great job opportunity. Like so I mean
Oh
like
no!
great on her, but it was like the worst timing.
Yeah.
So I had to like train a new VA while trying to figure out myself how to, and it was an absolute nightmare for like a month. An absolute nightmare of a month. And then
Right.
when the event went live, um, it was one of those where everything that could go wrong would go wrong. Like the email provider I was using just stopped working. Um, just like yeah, like pages stuff. Oh, that was it. My domain got flagged as being hacked or something. It was just an absolute nightmare. And
Yeah.
because I live in South Korea, most of the world is sort of waking up when I'm going to bed. So I'd
Mhm.
literally go to bed every night, look at my phone, and there'd be another issue, and I'd be up all night again trying to fix things. But then I was like, but I got through this. I learned so much, like the systems, not the systems that I used then, but the systems I realized I needed during that whole process and
Mm.
what makes everything so much simpler now. My next bundle, I think we're going to have 140 participants in it, but it really hasn't been, I mean, it's not been like completely easy or anything, but it's really not been stressful at all because I know how to like move people to different areas and what to check. And so, yeah, that's like literally an absolute nightmare of a time at the time, but it's really shaped how everything's been since then.
Well, yeah, your VA quitting probably pushed you right into the fire and helped you learn what you would have not ever learned, just having someone else do it. So it's like, okay, now I got to man up and girl up and figure this stuff out. So now you know the behind the scenes and how to handle things. I think with every time, that I lose a VA or that I lose something, it's like, oh, I'm going to gain something from this, right? I'm going to gain more, bare minimum, you're going to gain more knowledge, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything. Yeah. Like,
So, for those of you listening, you might not know what a bundle is. So, why don't you explain, Kat, what is the bundle?
thank you for calling me out on that because, yeah, that's something that we really need to remember. Yes. Okay. So, a bundle is essentially a group of people come together and everybody contributes
Mhm.
a resource, a paid product. It depends on the kind of bundle. The ones I run are always everyone's contributing something that they would usually sell because that brings sort of adds value to the event. Everybody shares the event to their audience. Their audience can choose to sign up to the event. And then when they sign up, they get a list of all the products inside, and they can go and pick and choose which of those products they want to individually sign up for. So, as a contributor, the way this looks is you contribute something of value to the event, you share it to your audience, which is actually a good thing because you are giving value to your audience as well. You're not just promoting something that's not yours. Um, and one thing I always tell people is make sure that what you're contributing is attractive to your audience as well. And have tripwire offers on there because you will convert with tripwires.
Mhm.
Tripwires, if you don't know, are like you sign up for something and then you've got 15 minutes to, sign up for something at a discounted rate. And those will convert higher to your existing audience because they're a warm audience. So don't forget the value you're giving to your own audience by participating. But then what you're really going to benefit from is you are going to get hopefully lots and lots and lots of people joining your email list as a result. To be clear, though, you're not getting everyone who signs up for the event. You're just getting people who've signed up for your product in the event. So these are people who've shown that they're interested in, what you offer, what you do. So they should, most of them, be targeted leads. So
Mhm.
that's sort of the simple how it works. And it's usually about between 7 days and 10 days that people can promote the event, and a further 2 weeks maybe after that that people have time to still go through and claim your products. So it's about 3 to 4 weeks overall time frame that an event goes on.
Mhm. That's a great explanation. And a tripwire is just really an upsell too. So, that's a good thing. So I'm sure that you listening out there have actually maybe been into a bundle where it's like all these free gifts and you can choose one and you can get them all for free or you can upgrade for $47 and get the VIP things. I know you've done it, but if you haven't done it, make sure to do that. And then if you have an offer, I highly recommend that you check out Kat's bundles and her giveaways because they're very good. I mean, I get a lot of benefit from being involved. That's why I wanted to have you on the show because
Thank
you
you.
know what you're doing and what you're doing works. So that's important. But check it out. Make sure to try to go into a giveaway or a bundle or something like that. So when you get through with the launch, how do you celebrate? Do you go out and get another puppy?
No, I just put a new event out to start signing up for because I like to torture myself apparently. Um, No, yeah, no more puppies. Absolutely no more puppies. I can't afford any more puppies. They're too expensive. Um, no, I honestly, like during an event, there is like a huge buzz that I feel like I do. Pre-COVID, I used to organize a lot of in-person charity events, and I kind of had missed sort of that buzz of organizing things.
Ah.
So I always, yeah, I do quite often come out of an event and go, right, okay, what's next? Like, I need to get some more scheduled, some more on the calendar, and I get them out there. And a couple of days later, I'm like, what were you thinking, Kat? Like, here we go again.
That's why I love in your bio. You said you're not quite sure where your business is taking you yet, and that's a good thing. I mean, for me, I love that myself because I love change and I love unexpected, and I love to see, oh, there could be something new and better even on the horizon that I haven't even thought of yet.
Exactly. Can't wait to see, yeah, what comes next. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
always two.
So I'm sure that people are saying, okay, how did you end up in South? How did you end up in Korea? How did
Uh,
that happen?
I mean, you may have got this from me. I'm great at planning forward thinking. Oh, no, kind of on a whim. I was traveling in South America at the time, decided I wasn't ready to go home. And so I applied for a job to come to Korea for a year. That was about 20 years ago. I forgot to leave. So yeah, I'm still here. I I mean, people always ask me like, "What's Korea like compared to?" I'm like, I don't know. It's just my life now. This is home now. Like, I'm married here. Weirdly, my husband is he's from like an hour away from me in England, but we met in Korea. Um,
Oh,
yeah, so like my life is here. This is where I live now. But yeah, it was just literally again a whim decision. Don't want to go home. Got on the internet, applied for a job, woke up in the morning to like job interviews, and then yeah, I've been here nearly 20 years.
unbelievable. So from England to South America, right? To Korea.
That's right. Yep.
What a journey. I love that. And it's so interesting that your husband and you lived an hour apart and then he was actually in Korea when you met him.
That's right. Yeah. Like,
That's
I
meant
mean,
to
we only
be.
met each other's families like a couple of days before we got married because we like all our life had been here together. So that
That
was
is
fun
meant to
too.
be, girl. How long have you been married?
Oh, 14, yeah, 14 years. Yeah, I
Okay.
know that without thinking, I promise.
It's meant to be, obviously. You know, the stars aligned, and there you are in a whole different country as kindred spirits. That's pretty cool.
Something like that.
I like it. I like it. So, if you could turn back time and tell your 18-year-old self some advice, what would you give her, Kat, looking
I
back?
would, yeah, I would tell her she will learn to be brave because 18-year-old me wasn't brave. 18-year-old me had dreams and things she wanted to do. I like travel. I really wanted to travel. Um, I did like I went to university, but there was so much more I could have got out of university if I'd have been braver. I would have traveled soon if I'd have been braver. But I became brave. So that would be my like you will become brave, like embrace being brave would be my advice.
And obviously, you did because you've traveled so much extensively. You've traveled all over the place. So, and you have to settle down when you go to college, anyhow, and not travel a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Can't
good
win
thing you
it.
didn't have Wanderlust, so you might not have ever finished school at that point.
There is that. I mean, that's what my parents always say. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm glad you got Wanderlust after you got your degree. Good job, Kat. Okay, so what's your favorite organizing hack? Like, what keeps you kind of focused and linear? Do you have any organizing tactics or hacks or programs that you use that work well for you?
Yeah, I'm the worst person to ask this question to. I am a post-it note. Like, oh, it's fit, yeah. I have post-it notes everywhere. I really like I use Google Sheets for all of my bundle organizing. I know Airtable would probably be better, but like I just don't want to learn a new system. I don't want to like get like what I know works for me.
Yeah.
So I just keep things as simple as I can. Like So in my VA, I use ClickUp, but I use it very minimally. Honestly, most of our communication is on Facebook Messenger because that works and it sort of suits. Like I'm not very formal about things. Like she's comfortable with that sort of arrangement that we've got. So yeah, I think just a way of organizing that works for you. I've tried all my life to sort of use online diaries and organizing systems, and they just don't work with my brain or I just don't do them. I think that's the problem. I just never get around to inputting and checking and things. So
Mhm.
for me, it's just find what works for you. And even if it's simple, that, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And I love Google Sheets. I teach a Google masterclass and Google Sheets and Google Task might be something that you could replace your Post-it notes for. I found that I like them because I can put my URL links in there of things that I need, So it's not just a note. It's like, oh, here I can click there and also get to where I was trying to get.
I
Um,
mean, I'm going to say I'm going to look at it, but I probably won't.
well, you can just stick a Post-it note wherever you want.
I also joke as well that the wind helps me organize. Because when I open the window, half the post-it notes vanish.
Right.
And those are
There
just
they
things that I
go.
don't need to do. Like they're going to get forgotten about.
It didn't want you to do it anyhow, right?
Exactly.
Move away. Or the dog took it, right? Okay, so I know that you have bundles, you have giveaways, and I know you probably have something that we can give to the audience here that's listening. So let's talk about that. What would you like to offer the listeners?
Okay, yeah, I've got it's called like Be a Rockstar Contributor. Or Be a Rockstar Collaborator, sorry, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about participating in different collaboration events. And this covers bundles, summits, getting on podcasts because that's a form of collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're chatting now, like we've had email conversations before, but it's so much different when you connect with somebody and you're speaking with them. And it's not just about, well, it does cover like what they are, how to join them, but it also covers how to make the most of the event because I think a lot of people get focused on audience growth from events, which is brilliant. Like it is a huge part of an event, but it's the connections that you make with other people or the potential for connections that you can make with other people that often get forgotten about. So that's covered in there as well. And that's something I really want to stress if you are thinking about being in a collaboration is don't just focus on like numbers because the numbers will hopefully be great. Hopefully you'll be adding like 100-ish, 200-ish people to your audience, maybe more depending on the event.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's the connection opportunities, it's building relationships, it's the long-term sort of snowball of getting extra visibility for yourself out there that you'll see the impact of maybe 6 months, 12 months later.
Mm-hmm. And as a teacher, you really do make it succinct. I love taking your classes because they're very easy to understand and easy to implement. And I highly recommend you guys, if you've never done, even if you have done collaboration events, just download it because you're going to learn things that you didn't know. I mean, I've been in business 20 years and you've teach me every time that I open up one of your classes, it's like, oh, hadn't thought about that one, hadn't thought about that one. So, I think you're a wealth of resource and you just reminded me that I really should collaborate with the other collaborators more than I do now, because obviously the people who are collaborating are also boomers and movers, and there's no reason that why we can't collaborate further for more events. So, yeah, see, you just taught me and reminded me what I need to be doing.
Well, I mean, the way I sort of talk about this and frame this is so it's all so we all get the cold DMs and they all feel about ugh. But if we're reaching out to somebody that we're in a collaboration with, we're already have a really it's not a cold DM, it's not a cold reach. It's like, hey, we're both in this event together. I sure, you're sharing XYZ. I love it. You know, like it would be great for my audience, or I would learn to learn more, or maybe we can work to, you've already got a very natural connection with the person.
Mhm.
You've already it's a genuine like I've got your product from this event or I've seen so it's much more genuine and natural than reaching out to somebody that you've no relationship already with. So yes, go talk to them. There's some lovely people as well in my events.
Yes, there are. Absolutely. I think, you draw heart spirited people and people who just are givers to your events. And that's what makes it a success because they're always very successful. The ones that I've attended for the past year, I've been following Kat. So I'm excited that I had her on my podcast. That I have you on the podcast. It's just amazing to me. And it's good to see your face because again, we've been chit-chatting over the airwaves, but not having the face-to-face. So to me, that's very important. Okay, so is there anything that we should have talked about that we didn't discuss? Anything on your mind that you want to teach or tell or just chat about?
Oh, good one. So I probably would have said what I just said in my last thing there about like, think of collaborations as being more than just the event. What shall I say? I mean, I'm just gonna say end it with be you and don't forget to be you.
Mhm.
Especially, I'm not knocking AI or anything when I say this, but more and more your personality, even if you're using AI or whatever you're doing, make sure you are still you because that's what's going to set you apart. That's what makes my events different to somebody else's events. Not necessarily that my events are any different or any better than somebody else's events, but the people that like keep coming back and back to my events they like the way that I do things, like my processes. So, be you, don't try and be like what somebody else is telling you to be or tell you to do, or because it won't work in the long run.
That's great advice. Absolutely. Be who you be.
Exactly. Post-it notes and all.
Don't let AI take over your persona. It'd be like a bad idea, for sure. Well, thank you, Kat. I'm so pleased that we got to meet in person or over. I guess this is as personal as we get these days, so especially since you're in Korea. But I'm so glad that we got to meet back face to face. And I appreciate you. And for everyone who's listening, make sure that you check out Kat, do a collaboration, download that so you know what you're doing if you've never done a collaboration. And even if you had, you're going to learn, as I said earlier. But it's been a real pleasure. And I appreciate your time because I know what time is it there now for you?
Oh, it's just gone, well, 9:30 a.m. So it's not too bad today.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's 5 o'clock, 4:30 my time. So
There we go. That worked out quite well.
we're doing well.
And no, it's been so much fun. Like, yeah, great to connect.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kat. I really appreciate you. And until next week, you guys, tune back in. We'll have another guest that will teach you things, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you want to hear more, feel free to subscribe on the platform of your choice. Also, if you feel so inclined, I would truly appreciate a good rating from you to me. Have a stellar day.